Hey guys, how you doing? jpsarrireviews here, and I hope you had a good Labor Day weekend here in the United States. So now that we're back in the saddle, it's time to talk about collectibles. And Iron Studios has been releasing some stuff in the past few weeks, and I haven't really had a chance to talk about them, a lot of Marvel stuff. So in this video today, I want to really go through all the stuff they've been releasing, all the stuff that is going on pre-order. I want to really look at the good and the bad, what I like, what I don't like, and ultimately let you know if I think you need to add these pieces to your collection or not. So in the next couple of minutes, stay tuned. All right, guys, I'm here at the Iron Studios website, and I will have the link in the description for those who are interested. And as you can see, here are the three releases that we're going to discuss today. The Peni Parker, Art Scale 110. We have the Blob, which a lot of people are really excited for. And we also have the newest release, which is Deadpool. So we're gonna start first with the oldest pre-order, which is Peni Parker. And then we're gonna move on to the next two. So here's the Peni Parker and SPDR Deluxe BDS Art Scale 110 Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. If you follow the channel, you know I'm a big fan of Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I consider that the best Spider-Man film of all times, or at least up to this point. I'm still a fan of the original, I would say, film with the Tobey Maguire films. I do consider those the best Peter Parker films, even with the imperfections. But I do believe that when it comes about the Spider-Man as a whole, I think this film was the best. But here, the price is $199.99, which is $200 plus shipping. You can pay in full. You can choose the payment plan. If you choose the payment plan, you can do up to 4 payments, which is not bad. So you're paying, what, $50? And this is the estimated arrival for this is December 1st, 2020, which is really close. This was announced last year at San Diego Comic-Con. I had the opportunity to talk about it then. I talked about the whole collection, but I haven't had a chance to talk about each piece individually. Well, this is my chance, at least with Peni Parker, which is the last one in the whole collection. Everything else is on pre-order, but you can see there's a 360 right there. We're not gonna read the information because if you know the character, you know the film, you know it's a good film. But it's pretty cool. Love the design, love the mecha style. It's all pretty cool. It's limited edition, so there's no edition size. Based on original movie references, made in polystone, is hand painted. Product dimensions is 9.8 inches in height, 10.6 inches in width, and the length is 8.2 inches. And the weight is 2.6 pounds, which is actually a bit heavy for this scale. And now let's look at these pictures. And I really love the concept. Again, I'm a big fan of the film. So I think Iron Studios has done a fantastic job in really recreating the film with each piece that they have released for this collection. I'm really glad that they really completed the collection. Of course, they haven't really done the villains yet. Oh, they were never announced. We never saw them. But each character, in this case, the variations or variants of Spider-Man, they're all there. And this is the last one, of course, that was announced. But it's really cool. I really love the design. I love the pose. I would say that this is not, I would say, for everyone, unless you're a big hardcore fan of this film, or you're going to go for this collection. But I really like the fact that this is a collection that is complete, and that really speaks volumes of the work of Iron Studios, because many companies start collections but they never get the chance to finish them. Case in point, Kotobukiya, they started a collection that lasted for many years, like the Danger Room sessions that they started with Eric Sosa, and they have kind of continue on a little bit with the new stuff that they have, but it's not the same thing. They never really finished the stuff, and that to me, that was very disappointing from Kotobukiya. And they did that with so many other collections. I think the Iron Studios has a better chance because they know what the collectors want, and they are really completing collections. This many collections 110 are fantastic for that reason. They, you can fit them in many, in really limited spaces. And I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people are really fans of it. But I love even the backpack in the back. It's pretty cool. The paint job is cool. There's nice detail, even for this scale. It is not perfect. Some of the paint here looks a bit sloppy, but you have to keep in mind that this is just the size, the scale of this. Sometimes it's hard to paint smaller things. Iron Studios, for the most part, has done a fantastic job in really painting some of this stuff. A lot of the stuff that has come out, people are praising it because of the high quality of the paint job. So I'm guessing, this is just the prototype. But yeah, it looks a bit sloppy if you really look close. But I love this. I love, of course, the different pictures they have. The background that kind of reminds you of the film. And here's, of course, the entire collection as we have seen it so far. You know, you got Peter Parker, Miles Morales, Gwen Stacy, and of course, Noir, Spider-Man, and Spider-Ham, which is kind of nice. I like the whole concept. What I love about Miles Morales is that you can interchange the head sculpting the same with Peter Parker, which in my opinion is super fantastic that you're able to do such a thing. I think the same thing happens with Gwen Stacy. So that's the coolest thing about this collection. It's a nice collection, small collection. I would say it's for everyone. It's not for everyone unless you are a big, again, a hardcore fan of this film, and if you really enjoy the film, even if you're not a hardcore statue collector, but if you like to collect things, at least assemble a whole thing, a whole series, I think this is a great opportunity to do so. There are not many pieces, but they all combine so well and they look terrific. So in my opinion, kudos, I would say, to Iron Studios for doing such a thing. And as you can see here, the comparison of the scale of this one is pretty huge. It's huge for what it is. As you can see right there, he's holding it with both hands, and it seems like he's having a little bit of a hard time holding it. So yeah, that's super huge. So I would say that the $200 price tag is fair for this piece. All right, now we're moving into the Blob, and this is also $200. You can choose also the payment plan. This is the estimated arrival for this is March 1st of 2021. So, you know, you have plenty of time from now to get it there, which is nice. And they have a video that they're posting videos now, which is nice. And of course, we're gonna skip all that information. We know Blob. I think this is one of those cartoony characters from the X-Men that has always been loved for some reason, but he's a jerk, and that's what he is. It's limited edition, made in polystone, hand painted. The product dimensions 8.6 inches in height, 10.6 inches in width, so he's really wide, 9 inches in length. Product weight is 5.9 pounds. This guy is heavy. Not only he is big, he is heavy, and in my opinion, that's a nice thing. They put weight on him, so it really kind of portrays the character well, even in that instance. So we're gonna look now. I would say with the face, I wouldn't say that I'm super crazy about the face, but when you come to look at it, you know, every artist that have always portrayed the Blob, whether it was, you know, John Byrne when he was in every artist in the 90s, they always made it so cartoony. He's a cartoony character, so he's always been. So I think they are doing a good job in portraying him this way. And as you can see, love the detail. Definitely he looks like a chunky kid that he's about to pound you, so that's cool. You know, I really like it. I like also the base, and this is another great addition for the, in my opinion, for the Sentinel versus diorama, the X-Men versus the Sentinel. It's great, and he's holding that X from the Xavier Institute. Man, that's pretty cool. I love that. Love the detail. A lot of people were excited when this was showcased at Sideshow Con. I think people were really excited for it. And people are still asking for other characters like Nightcrawler and all. But I do believe that this was a nice touch. And look at that smile. Look at those pearly teeth. Kind of pearly. But man, look at that. Wow. Love the detail. I would say that this is the part where Iron Studios really shine, and it's that really creative. Not only because, like as we saw with Penny, that is a nice representation of the character from the film. In this case, Blob is I would say a perfect representation of the character in the comics. And this is the thing with Iron Studios is so, I really love what they do, that they really not only concentrate on certain aspects of their art, you know, they have so much variety in what they offer. They have a lot of stuff that is based on the movies, whether it's Marvel or DC, but also they have a lot of stuff that is just stuff that they created on their own. And in my opinion, that's great. It really showcases a lot of talent that they have as a company, and the eagerness to really please the collectors and to really bring something cool to the, I would say, to the fan base. And look at this piece right here. Nice size. I love it. I think this is a great addition. So if you already pre-order or you already have the Sentinel versus X-Men diorama plan to add to your collection, I think this is a nice addition to it. All right, guys, and now we're looking at Deadpool Deluxe BDSR Scale 110 Marvel Comics. This is $200. You can choose the payment plan or you can pay in full. Now, before we get into everything, before we get into the pictures, I gotta be honest with you. I don't think this is a good price. I think this is too much for this character. Yes, I love Deadpool. Deadpool always sells well. It seems that it's so popular, people are willing to pay the money. But I don't know why they wanted to go that high with the price point on this. In my opinion, this should be like $150 perhaps. It seems that they are going up in prices, but you know, some other characters, like even Stan Lee was, you know, released not long ago. It's $150 if I'm not mistaken. I think it's just the regular or so. And you know, even the Hulk that was released, that is based on the Age of Ultron, that one is $200, and that's a massive piece. So I believe that, I don't know, it's hard to justify. I understand Blob, he's 5 pounds. I understand the price point for him. I don't know, you know, it has intricate detail, yes, but I don't know, it just feels that they're just kind of riding the wave of, you know, people loving Deadpool, and many companies do that, so they're gonna price it a little higher. And it's getting to the point that $200 is becoming the norm for Iron Studios, and 110 scale at $200, I don't know, it just is too much in my opinion. But of course, we're gonna discuss that in a moment. Let's just get into the pictures. This is going to release on June 1st, 2021. We're gonna skip the description. We already know who Deadpool is. Limited edition, we know that the product dimensions is 9.6 inches. So it's a bit, I think it sits a bit taller than the Blob, but it's because he's standing on some, you know, on that base in comparison to the Blob, that he's pretty much standing on the ground. 7.8 inches in width and 5.1 inches in length. Product weight is only 0.9 pounds, so it's less than a pound. So that's my consideration. It's $200. The Blob is $200, but the Blob is bigger and heavier. So yeah, I don't know, it makes no sense. But you know, and another thing that I would say about this, although I love Deadpool, I don't know if this fits well with the, you know, the X-Men collection. It is kind of like a standalone piece. I know Deadpool is one of those characters, we all know that he is just, you know, he walks in his own rhythm. You know, he does his own thing. You know, he's totally separate in reality from the X-Men. He's crazy, he's wild. But if this is part of the X-Men versus Sentinel collection, then you expect this to be like a part of a battle. And here, he's just being goofy. I don't know. It's not a bad sculpt. I'm not gonna say that it's bad. It's not. It's cool for what it is. It's nice, but I don't think it fits well with the whole collection. So this is a standalone piece. If you want this, is because you want a standalone piece. But this is not gonna fit well. And even though they kind of showcase it with the Sentinel, I don't think this is meant to be with that. So in my opinion, I don't think this is a must-have. And it really portrays the goofiness of him, not necessarily the battle position. And I don't know, this is the part where I'm really torn. I like the skull, I like the concept to a certain extent. I just don't think that this is kind of fits well with the entire X-Men collection. So in my opinion, to be honest with you, this is probably the least desirable piece that they have produced for the X-Men collection. It is a nice sculpt, you know, I'm not gonna deny it. It doesn't really say who sculpted this, but whoever did a terrific job. It does have a little bit of Joe Kelly feel to it, you know, in this case Madureira and all those artists and McGuinness that really have done a terrific job in portraying the character. It has even, I can see the little charm with the Wolverine. That's kind of cool. It is cool. I'm not gonna say that it is not, but this is a piece, yeah, if you are really looking just for a Deadpool, you're not interested on the X-Men collection or the Sentinel versus diorama, you don't have the space, you don't have the money for the whole thing, then this is one that you can consider just as a standalone piece. But, you know, make no mistake, there are better portrayals of Deadpool, at least in a battle position, than this one. This is just more kiddish. You know, and it's more based on the I would say the way and the perception people have of Deadpool nowadays, which is goofier than ever was. And that has to do a lot with the movies, that has to do with the video games, that has to do a lot with the way they've been portraying the character in recent years. But even that portrait right there with the full mask, not crazy about that one. Again, this is a goofier version of Deadpool, which is fine. You know, we can have as many versions as possible. Not everything has to be the same. So I think, you know, because there's so many variations, so many portrayals, so many different styles, so many things that have been done for Deadpool. I think Iron Studios was trying to do something totally different, and it works to a certain extent, but not fully, in my opinion. I like this one. more than the other one. So I think if you're gonna get this one and you're gonna portray this character, I think this is the one that most people are gonna use for. This it kind of has the feel of some even action figures that I've seen from Deadpool that are more, you know, like in this vein and this style. So yeah, I would say that this is perhaps not my favorite thing. Again, this is not my favorite Deadpool. I still think it's too pricey. It does have a lot of detail, which is nice, but I don't know. It just, I'm really torn on this one. I think it's too expensive. Other pieces are cheaper than this, and they have the same amount of detail or more. They have more weight, more higher size. They're bigger, so I can justify the price on those. Even though I think that right now our insurance is going too high with the prices on the 110. But I do believe that this probably doesn't merit that much. But of course, it's my opinion. One thing is for sure, this is a pass for me, not necessarily a pass for everyone. All right, guys, there you have it. I gotta be honest with you. Like I said, I'm not crazy about Deadpool. I think Deadpool is a pass because it doesn't really fit well with the concept of the X-Men versus Sentinel diorama. It doesn't fit well. You know, they have done that with other separate characters. They have done that with Bishop, they have done that with Cable, they have done that with Sabretooth, Omega Red. They all seem to fit well. And Pyro and all of them, they seem to fit well. But this is kind of like an odd choice. You know, he's just there, you know, being silly, and I don't know, it just doesn't seem well. So yeah, I would say if you want this piece as a standalone, I think it can work like that. If you're a fan of this goofy side of Deadpool, then it works for you. But for the most part, I don't think it fits well with the entire collection of the X-Men. But that's just my opinion, of course. Now with Penny, she looks great. I think that collection is complete with her. A lot of that stuff is still on pre-order. You can find them at Iron Studios. You can go to Sideshow. I think they're great. So they have done a fantastic job in portraying those characters the way they are, and they're not many. So I think this is if you don't have the money to get the entire X-Men collection, but you're a fan of the Into the Spider-Verse film, then definitely that's an option. Blob looks terrific. I think they did a terrific job with Blob, and that's a must-have in my book. But what do you think? What is your opinion? Are you a fan of any of this? Do you disagree with my opinion? Let me know in the comments below. So once again, my friends, thanks for watching. God bless. Take care. I'll talk to you again. Bye-bye.